Hey guys, what's up? This is Andy Frisella, the MF CEO, and you're listening to the MF CEO Project. I am here with my co-host and good buddy Vaughn Kohler. What's up, dude?
I'm great. I'm just still reeling from our earlier conversation where Tyler implied that you weren't a nice guy.
I know. He's a hater.
Yeah, he's a hater.
All right, guys, we're going to get right into it. Today is a special Q&A episode. I think we're going to take one or two questions. Not sure how many. Vaughn's going to pepper me, and I'm going to answer.
Yeah, so
let's get right into it.
Yeah, I mean, are you okay with me doing all that, informational type stuff that I'm normally?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So basically, guys, if you want the show notes page for this Q&A session, you go to themfceo.com/QA4 or 5. You know what? I'm really off my game, but it's either 4 or 5. But you'll figure it out. But it's just go to themfceo.com. You can get show notes for all of our episodes. That also includes links to the books Andy recommends, or the beef jerky, or really anything. You can. It's important.
Yeah, so, anything I mention on the show, we link it up on the site, so it's easy to reference.
And you can make comments on the website. It's Facebook integrated, so we love to hear your comments there. And driving traffic to our website is a good thing for us. It helps a lot. So, and then our social media connections, Andy, you want to do those for you?
I'm at Andy Frisella on Instagram. Also the same at Andy Frisella on Periscope. If you want to see some behind the scenes nonsense, MFCEO-1 on Snapchat. I'm sorry, MFCEO-1.
Right.
We just got a new mini bike in the. We bought a Honda CT70 for the office, so I've been Snapchatting myself riding that thing around.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. For Snapchat, I am VKO-MFCEO, and for everything else, Instagram, Periscope, everything else, it's just at Vaughn Kohler, VAUGHNKOHLER. Okay, so I've got a question here. I don't know if it's going to make you mad, man.
Make me mad.
Yeah, it might.
Bring it.
All right, here it is. Andy, in the episode of productivity, you mentioned that people who say that they grind it out 24/7 are lying or stupid or somehow, they're just like have psychological problems or exaggerating. You said that it's not just about hustling, but hustling smart. And you explained that successful people who are super productive accomplish more between, like 5 in the morning and 10 than most other people, and they can just screw around the rest of the day. I mean, paraphrasing what you said. But then in a Periscope, you agreed with Gary Vee, who said 9 to 6 won't cut it, and that you did have to put in the hours to hustle, etc. So is the MF CEO just MF contradicting himself? Please explain this to your loyal listeners. Sincerely, Vaughn from St. Louis.
Vaughn.
I'm just holding your feet to the fire, man.
Look, man, if you really paid attention,
you'd be able to answer that.
That's right.
No, actually, we've actually gotten a couple emails asking about that.
Okay,
so I thought
I'd
fine. Throw that
Here's
question
the deal.
out.
It's popular. Everybody likes to talk about, I work harder than everybody. I stay up 24 hours a day and work and never fucking sleep. Blah, 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 blah. And what I always say to that is this. You're either very ineffective, very inefficient, or you're stupid and you can't get it done in a normal, efficient amount of time. I stand by that 1,000,000%. Now, Gary Vee, who is awesome, by the way.
Come on our show, Gary.
Yeah, Gary. What the fuck? All right. Gary, who is awesome, by the way, he posted a meme that I reposted on Instagram that said 9 to 6 just isn't going to get it done. What he means by that, I know exactly what he means by that. Anybody who's successful knows what he means by that. And people like to take the literal stance of, I've got to work. That means I've got to work 9 to 9 or 9 to 12 to get it done. And their little pea brain thinks that we're talking about just putting in more time. Okay? Putting in more time is not the answer. All right? And that's not what he's talking about. Is it something you have to do? No fucking question. I worked from the time we started our company for 7 years. I worked 6 days a week, 12 fucking hours. And you know what else I did after that? I went and worked other jobs. Okay? That's what you have to do. But I also own a retail store. I didn't own some sort of company that could be run online. I had to actually physically be there. So I had to put the physical time in. But what he's saying in that comment, in that meme, and if you want to see the meme, you can go check out Gary V on Instagram or go to my page. It's going to stay up. What he means by his meme, I'm going to read it exactly verbatim so I don't fuck it up here.
Do you want me to talk while you look it up?
No, I got it right here.
I could fill space.
Because this meme got a lot of attention because I do always say, hey, anybody who's saying you got to work 26 hours out of 24 is full of shit. And they are, and I stand by that. It's very bad advice. Okay? Do you have to put in the time? Fuck yeah, you got to put in the time. But dude, don't act like, I mean, we get it, right? You work harder than everybody. We get it.
Right.
And that's what everybody on the internet these days likes to brag about.
Right.
So here's the meme. It's from Gary V. It says, people like to claim that they work hard, but they're not putting in the time. 9 to 6 just isn't enough. Okay? Now let's talk about what putting in the time means. Is Gary V talking about putting in the time, so staying until 10 o'clock at night doing the same fucking thing that you did from 9 to 6? No. What he's talking about is you putting in the time of a personal investment, learning about new things, educating yourself, learning new skills, networking, improving your brand, making videos, doing everything you need to fucking do that goes outside of the 9 to 6 duties of your job. There's working in the business, and then there's working on the business. All right? When you're a small business and you first start up, let's say you do own a retail store, and let's say your hours are 9 to 6. You are going to have to physically be there 9 to 6. That's the reality. What are you going to do besides that? If you show up, you clock in at 9, you clock out at 6 and go home and barbecue fucking hot dogs, guess what? You ain't ever going to make it. It's what you do outside that time that determines whether or not you're going to be successful. It's the books you read. It's the calls you make. It's the emails you send. It's the shows you go to learn about your industry. It's all these other things outside the 9 to 6. And that's what that fucking meme's talking about. And everybody likes to be literal in pointing the finger. And it's not, I know you asked this question because you know that people were doing that and you probably saw the comments. But the reality is if your brain is not able to comprehend what he's talking about, you probably shouldn't even you should probably just clock in and clock out and go home and barbecue.
Right.
That's just for you.
The reason that people get confused is because it's amazing to me how people don't have an understanding to put things in context.
No, because everybody, Vaughn, is, first of all, they don't have, in this particular case, I agree with you. They don't, and sorry for interrupting you there. They don't have the context, okay? They don't look at things in context. They look at things in literal nature. Second of all, what they also have is this idea that you got to have balance, okay? And they talk about this work-life balance, and they want to have their fucking cake and they want to eat it too. And everybody knows that life just doesn't fucking work that way, okay? They want to clock in from 9 to 6. They want to go home and play Xbox and smoke a fucking joint and order a fucking pizza, and they want to come out looking like Richard Branson or fucking Donald Trump, and it's just not what happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's the mentality here. And then when you tell them that they don't do that, they think, well, that's not fair. I'm going to lose my work-life balance. Well, no fucking shit you are. That's called being a fucking entrepreneur. That's called being successful. You better fucking figure out that you're not going to have very much balance for a long time. But guess what? 20 years from now or 15 years or 10 years, when you find that success you're looking for, you get all the fucking balance you want.
Right.
You get all the balance you want. You get to do whatever you want. You get to go wherever you want. Nobody tells you what to do. And so for 10 years, you live in this fucking bubble of no balance. But they look at it like, okay, I'm going to work my 40 hours, which is a fucking joke, by the way.
Right.
I'm going to work my 40 hours, and then I'm going to go home and I'm going to hold my girlfriend's hand for fucking the rest of the time.
Right.
All right? Or I'm going to snuggle with her, or whatever the fuck they think. And they think that that's balance. All right? That is not balance.
Right.
Balance is... And well, that's one way to look at balance. Mm-hmm. If you're a regular dude who wants to be a regular person and go through life being regular, this isn't a podcast for you. Mm-hmm. This is an entrepreneurial, success-based podcast. I am not knocking people that do that. That is their choice. So please pay attention to the context of our podcast. All right. So when I say That's not balance. That is balance for certain people, and that's okay. But for you, and I'm assuming you listening for success, your balance idea should be, hey, I'm going to work my fucking ass off for the next 5 to 10 years as hard as I can. I'm going to give everything I can. I'm going to give every hour. I'm going to give every ounce. Everything I eat, sleep, live, dream about is going to be fucking business and success. And then guess what? After the next, 10 years, I get to do whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
All right.
Right.
That's another way to look at balance.
Yeah. For me, I think a better word instead of balance is rhythm, and realizing that sometimes in your life you're going to have this intense, 2 or 3 weeks of work, and then you're going to be able to relax for a little bit and then go back to work and then relax. But it's not really a balance. Balance reflects an ideal that you're never going to have. I think it's getting into a cycle that works for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I get it 100%. The reason people have this conflicting ideal about balance is because they're trying to fit their lives into the box somebody else is fucking defining. I've got to do this between this time and this time, or this time and this time.
Right.
Dude, some of the entrepreneurs I know that I talk to, they don't even work during the day. They take the whole day off. They work at night. Mm-hmm. It's all about figuring out what you need to do. But the point of the matter is this: 9 to 6 isn't going to cut it. If you clock in like an average motherfucker, you're going to live like an average motherfucker. That's the bottom line. If you go to work and you just put your time in like everybody else and go home, you have no right to expect success in an extraordinary fashion because you're not doing anything extraordinary. So, the question is, do I contradict myself? No, I don't contradict myself. I just understand what he's saying. You don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's that's the point.
You're saying I don't?
No, I'm saying whoever write the comments say that shit.
know.
I get those comments all the time. Anytime we talk about work, it's like everybody wants to talk about how hard they work. They don't, dude. Reading constitutes work. All right? Reading a book to improve your business skills, that's work. All right, work is not just when you're at work. Mm-hmm. Grinding out is not just when you're at work.
Right.
Grinding out is reading to improve. Grinding out is traveling to a trade show. Right. Grinding out is making phone calls, doing emails. It's all these things that you have to do outside of your normal duties of working in the business to work on the business to make it grow. Mm-hmm. The worst entrepreneurs I see are the ones who clock in like fucking regular workers and clock out, and then they don't do shit.
Right.
And their business gets destroyed by people that do what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So when somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk says, 9 to 6 isn't going to cut it, he doesn't mean stay extra 6 hours at your job. He means go out and learn shit and get fucking better. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Put the effort in. That's what he's talking about.
Right. So another way to say it is you've got two extremes. You've got people who want to be entrepreneurs, but they have a 9 to 6 mentality.
That's right.
And you're saying that's wrong. But then on the other extreme, you're having people who say that, if I just put in a 70 or 80 hour work week, everything's going to be great. And to those people, you're saying, no, it's not just about the quantity of time. It's how you use that time.
100% agree.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you for summarizing my rant.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. You got anything else to say?
No, guys. Hit us up, the mfceo.com. Ask your questions. Leave us a review. I think we have a new policy on questions, right?
Yeah, guys, we were talking about how we really want to reward those who are really invested in us. And we also want to show our thanks to those who go the extra mile. So we get a ton of questions, and we're very thankful for that. But we are prioritizing the ones that we know, the people who have left actual reviews on iTunes, because it means so much to us. It really helps, it just helps us.
Look, man, it's
increase
a trade.
our platform.
You put in the work for us, we'll put in the work for you.
Definitely.
It's a trade. There's nothing wrong with that.
Definitely. While I'm on that, if you really want to help us out, to be honest with you, reviews are the lifeblood of a podcast. So if you haven't done it on iTunes already, please do it. And then if you have done it on iTunes, another way that you could help us is if you copy your iTunes review and you go to Stitcher and you paste it into the Stitcher review, that just increases our SEO a lot. It just gets the word out there. It would just mean a whole lot to us. So I'll leave it at that.
All right, guys. We will see you on Tuesday. Again, I'm not sure. I don't really know the topic of what we're going to talk about until I show up, and I prefer it that way. I feel like the content comes out. So I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we're going to talk about some cool shit. So tune in, download the podcast this Tuesday, and we will see you then. All right, guys? Take it easy.